Hey, hey, Howie Fields with How We Hustle. I'm really, really excited today because I have a killer, good friend, and someone everyone needs to know. My man, Mike Morelli.
Appreciate you. Yep.
All right. Mike, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
So, really quickly, in a nutshell, 4 years ago, as I've told you, were some dark days, right?
Yeah.
Mom's basement, literally. After bankruptcy, lots of drugs during that time. I had a personal transformation, and that sparked a journey that has led me to a crazy, crazy journey, which you know a little bit about.
Right.
5 certifications in 6 months. Lots of businesses under the Morelli Fit umbrella. We do custom nutrition. We've got a fitness platform. We have a supplement line.
Right.
We have Detox Organics, which we just launched.
Yep. Coffee.
And we're getting ready to launch a pasta.
Pasta.
So, yeah.
And we all love pasta.
I think it's safe to say everybody loves pasta.
All
yeah.
All right, Mike, so things changed 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And you talk about dark days, and we were just talking off camera about the dark side we all have,
Yep.
right? But the moment I met you a couple months back, I knew you were a hustler, natural born hustler. So did you go to college? Did you, how did it start?
Yeah, so good question. First of all, it's interesting how we met. Right, I wasn't planning on even training, and I run into you and Dan.
Yeah,
and
change your muscle.
all of a sudden, right, it just spirals, and now we're here having a conversation, having some amazing butter.
Right, amazing butter in our first treadmill talk. So excited about that treadmill talk, the initial first one.
I get to be the first one.
Absolutely.
Oh.
You got to start it with a bang, brother.
Love it. All right, so dark days 5 years ago. I've always been a hustler, like you said.
No doubt.
I started selling baseball cards as long back as I can remember, 8, 9 years old.
Baseball cards.
Yep.
You know what? Vaynerchuk who?
Yeah.
Gary Vaynerchuk who?
Baseball
Mike
cards.
Morelli.
Baseball cards at a flea market.
Okay.
And then my dad opened up a business at a flea market.
Hey. Wow.
I worked for him from about 11 to 13, and I started doing magic.
Really excited today.
Magic tricks. Yeah.
Now you don't.
I was doing the floating dollar bill coin tricks. At 13 years old, I opened up a business at the 7 Mile Fair selling magic.
Right. You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding you. So on the weekends, I'd go to school, Monday through Friday, I'd go to school. The weekends, I'd sell magic tricks at the flea market. Daytona flea market.
You're killing it.
I was making $1,000 a week as a 13-year-old kid. Yeah.
Oh, you were the man in school.
I had a chameleon Mitsubishi Eclipse that changed colors, no doorknobs, shaved doors. I had a new pair of rims.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, yeah, the good old days. And honestly, it never stopped.
Right.
It's always been sales and marketing, entrepreneurship. Both my parents are entrepreneurs. And I knew that was the case for me.
So let me ask you, were you good at school?
I was okay.
You're okay.
I think I was okay because the school systems in Florida were so poor.
Right, okay.
You know, I didn't have to study much, and I was very charming.
Got that personality.
And the teachers loved me, and so I think that helped.
But it's natural sales ability as a kid. All right.
Yes.
So, all right.
That's Mike Morelli in a nutshell.
So from there, that was the
really
springboard. Just being
have
an
a
entrepreneur for your
conversation.
mom, dad,
Yep.
hustling as a kid.
Turned into drugs.
Well,
So magic turned into as seen on TV for my father, which led to selling drugs.
really?
Yeah,
Well,
I was selling dope.
Well, what's interesting about that with the entrepreneurial spirit,
It's an opportunity to make money.
that's what you
That's
said.
what I saw. I wasn't worried. I wasn't trying to harm people,
No,
although I know those are the ramifications.
Right.
I'm looking to make money.
Right.
And I'm seeing
it's out there.
ecstasy. Remember
Right.
it?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. So people know my story, and I'm not afraid to share it.
Right.
Ecstasy was hot. Remember the raves, underground raves, and the glow sticks and all this? That was me.
Right. I always joke about, when you meet people who are drug dealers, right? No one ever says, I'm a drug dealer. Who do I have to sell these drugs to? People show up. They want drugs. They want to have a good time.
Right. You just turn the light on.
Absolutely.
A specific color.
So literally, you were that guy.
I was that guy. At 19 years old, So I didn't have a drink. Crazy story. I didn't have a drink, not one drink in high school.
Right.
Got out of high school, tried ecstasy for the first time,
Uh-huh.
and I said, "Shit, I can make some money."
Yeah.
And that's what happened. As
Okay.
I started selling ecstasy.
So that was a springboard for
I was
making
making
tons of money.
in my early 20s, I was making $10,000 a week, spending 11,
Of course.
Yeah.
Tax-free, 10 grand, living the life.
living the life
That's bowling before it was called bowling.
at a young age.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So then, what was the next business? Because the drug dealing sprung another business, I'm assuming.
Yeah. The drug dealing came to a screeching halt,
Okay.
and I hit rock bottom. My mom came down to Florida to literally save me. I was high on oxycodone when she found me.
Okay.
That night, I burned a hole in my my fist right here with a cigarette. I
Right.
decided to put
Literally.
a cigarette out, like literally,
Right.
put a cigarette out of my hand. She found me down and out, and she said, "I'm taking you back to Wisconsin."
Right.
And so she took me back to Wisconsin.
Well, that's a mother's love. She's not
Totally.
gonna see
She wasn't
her
gonna-
heart walking around.
She wasn't gonna give up.
Okay, good.
No.
Good. That's important. But so, I want everyone to understand what I love most about this opportunity to speak with Michael is giving it to you raw, the real deal. This is what happens.
Howie knows he's going to have this story. He's going to be the only story like this online.
Oh,
Because I haven't told this to anybody
Yeah.
outside of my community, and they know bits and pieces.
right.
So,
Well,
yeah.
it's interesting coming from New York. There's parallel lines. I think that's why we hit it off right from the word go. There's definitely parallel lines in that relationship with the type of people we've come up being,
Mm-hmm.
and have been strong personalities, being able to connect with people. Certain
Mm-hmm.
things became naturally easy for you. But then when you hit rock bottom, your mom coming down to get you, that must have hurt.
Not as bad as 5 years ago, to be honest with you. I mean, my mom came down. I came back up, cleaned up my act, but then I started selling again. And it wasn't until I had a life-changing experience up here that shifted things.
Okay.
And that's when I decided to go to college.
Okay.
Ended up walking but not graduating because I have 9 credits left on a double major in marketing and human resources with a minor in econ. So 9 credits away literally from that.
Right.
But I left that, worked in the bar industry, managed nightclubs,
Right.
worked my way up very, very quickly. Started as a bar back literally.
Right.
So I've bar backed, I've bartended, I've served. Started at the bottom. Within 6 months I was managing that place in 4 of the top nightclubs in Wisconsin.
Right.
So again, making lots of cash.
Right.
I was driving,
Connecting with people,
being.
and it usually, like I always say, the bartender is really the celebrity of any bar or
Yeah.
nightclub. And with your personality add into that mix, boom, that's combustible.
It was.
Right.
So now I stopped dealing
Right.
and I started using.
That's a problem.
That's a problem,
That's a problem.
especially with an addictive personality.
Yeah.
And
Obsessive compulsive.
girls.
Right.
I mean, I managed 4 of the top nightclubs in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee.
Yeah, they're pretty girls up there.
So you can imagine.
Oh yeah. 2 or 3 at a time. Comfortably.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
I look back and I'm like, man,
How are you still
I could have
here?
died 7
No,
times.
Literally, how are you still here?
Yep.
It's the question. So, with that, one of the things I know, you started some type of business, right? What business was that?
Well, I got let go from there.
Right, because you're using partying like a madman.
I was partying like a man, but yeah, it just honestly just ended up going south, you know, and rightfully so.
Well, look, when the rubber meets the road, that always wins. The
Yep.
drug and the lifestyle is it's undefeated, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
It's never been beat. But you beat it by getting out of it.
Yeah, it lasted for another few years after that. I went to go work for my stepfather
Okay.
at the 7 Mile Fair.
Okay.
I opened up another business
Another business.
in a flea market,
Right.
selling as seen on TV, Snuggies, choppers, pillows.
As seen on TV.
Yep. Yep.
That's your DNA. Your DNA is to sell shit.
I love it.
Right.
I love it. It's almost it. I mean, I'll be honest. It gives me it. There's that
It's a
high.
right.
Absolutely.
You have a
Absolutely.
new drug, though.
Yep.
Your new drug could be gratitude. Your new drug could be helping others. Empowering people to be the best them. And we're going to talk about some books, some other things we have in common.
Yep. Yep.
But you have a new drug now.
Yep.
Which is fitness. You're in great shape. you create products, and more importantly, you're giving back to your community on a day-to-day basis. So that's probably what the new thing is.
So fast forward to today, give you just a little bit more context so that they know.
Right.
Leveraged all of my savings, my school loans that were supposed to go back to paying for school,
Right.
and my credit cards to open up my first store in the mall. And this was 2007. So
Okay.
this is 10 years ago.
Literally 10 years ago.
Yep. So I opened my store, and I'm selling As Seen on TV products. I'm working 80 to 100 hours.
Yeah, you're not.
I can't afford an employee at this point.
Right.
I bought the shelvings, the racks, the product. I was all in.
Right.
And the mall rent at the top mall was Mayfair Mall. At the top mall was
Astronomical.
December was $26,000. Thankfully, the Snuggie caught fire. Everybody remembers the Snuggie.
Of course, the Snuggies.
Snuggie caught fire. We were literally tossing them out the door. They wouldn't. I mean, they were like couldn't
Just
stay.
everyone.
I mean, I could have like
You were
stand there.
responsible. Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that December, I did $176,000 in sales. The November was about 91K.
Right.
I'm like, oh. So what do?
It's cash to burn.
I'm building.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cash to burn.
yeah, I'm building. So I go from 1 store to 6 stores in 18 months.
Wow.
Open up distribution,
Right.
e-commerce.
Right.
In 18 months, I'm doing $5 million.
You really amplified. The upside of that business was huge. Right.
Rode the trend because the As Seen on TV stuff was hot.
Yes.
But then Walmart got it.
Ah.
Walgreens got it.
You're right.
Every gas station got it. And it wasn't fun to come to my store anymore.
Right.
So I had $500,000 worth of mall leases
You have all this inventory.
and all this inventory. And
Right.
nobody wants to come to my store because it's not fun anymore. I can get it at Walmart.
Right. Dirt cheap.
Dirt cheap.
Right.
Much cheaper than what I'm getting it for.
Absolutely.
So I filed bankruptcy. This is 2012.
Okay. 2012.
Moved back in with my mom.
That's a recurring theme in your life here. That lady loves you.
I love you, Mom. You are right. Thank you for that awareness.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
She's always there.
Always there.
That's the foundation right there. That's awesome.
Yep.
So you moved back in with your mom.
Yes.
All right.
So now we're current.
Okay.
Now I hope we got some context.
Right. Are you married during the
Yes, I got
ups and downs? What's happening in the personal life?
So at the time I moved back in my mom,
Right.
I went through a divorce and bankruptcy. So I filed bankruptcy. This
All at the
business.
same time?
All at the same time.
Wow. So some people hit bottom in one area. You all collided.
I was
all at the same
185 pounds, 25% body fat.
time. Oh,
Couldn't
lucky,
carry
lucky.
2 bags of groceries up 2 flights of stairs
Right.
without getting winded.
Yeah. So basically, like everyone else, you're pushing all that product, hustling, grinding. You lost control of yourself. I always one of the analogies I always like to use is, the serpent, the snake sheds its skin, right, and then starts over, becomes a new beginning. So now there's a new start, a new springboard. What happens next?
I'm in my mom's basement, an iPhone and a dream.
iPhone, and I have it written down on my cards, an iPhone and a dream.
iPhone and a dream.
That's powerful.
Because just prior to that,
Right.
I went through my own personal transformation. I hit rock bottom,
Right.
divorce, bankruptcy.
Right.
I find a spiritual connection, and I start watching North Point Community Church online.
Okay.
It's in a big church out of Atlanta.
Okay.
Guy by the name of Stanley, Andy
Okay.
Stanley. I started following Andy Stanley, and that allowed me to start taking things serious.
Right.
So I had my own
Figure
personal,
yourself.
yeah, that, and I had my own personal transformation. I started eating clean. I started doing research, paleo diet,
Right.
and I cleaned things up, and I started doing high intensity interval training.
Hit.
Stripped my body fat,
Yeah, you did.
and so that catapulted me into fitness.
Right.
And so now, fast forward six or so months,
Okay.
5 certifications. I was
Right,
hungry.
well, as you said earlier at the top.
It's the only way I go.
5, 6 certifications.
I'm all in.
6 months, right.
I'm all in. I said,
That's
you
all
know
you
what?
know,
I
right.
said, I got a transformation, but if people are going to take me serious,
Right.
I got to have some certificates.
Right.
So I said, what are the best? CFL1,
Right.
RKC, regular, NASM CPT.
Yeah, CPT, the whole thing, yeah.
I came down here, which we'll get to in a minute, and I studied under Fitzgerald out of OPEX. He won the first CrossFit Games in his 40s. So my mom didn't believe me at the time.
This is what you're going to do.
She's like, "What? You're gonna sell stuff online? Like, what? Like, you're gonna what's that?"
Right. Generation.
She still doesn't get it. Right.
right. People are buying stuff from you online. Are you crazy?
Right. Well, I shouldn't say she still doesn't get it.
Oh, she gets it.
I would say as of a year ago, she still didn't get it.
Right,
Now
right.
she's sharing my book the link to my book on her Facebook.
Because you're her boy.
Yeah.
You find, what's so fascinating about that is, I'll just give you a great example. My mom's down in Hilton Head right now, and one of the things I love doing is sending my mom money. It's one of the things when I worked on Wall Street, when this happened, when I was getting my car accident at Syracuse, almost dying flying through the window of a car, partying like a maniac, working on Wall Street. I have a great 30-year-old story to tell you how gacked up I was that weekend. But they're always there. They're always just pick up the pieces, give you support, believe in you before you believe in yourself.
Totally.
It's always there. And then now, you made your mom proud.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. It's a completely. It's still sort of surreal at times. Quite frankly, you know, the messages that pour in, the life transformation. At first it's like, yeah, I'm going to help some people.
Right.
But when you start to get the pictures back and you start to get like, this one guy said, somebody asked me it was like his name is John. He said, my friend asked me like, who's the one person or two people you trust more than anybody in the world? It's like, my father and Michael.
Are you kidding me?
What? Like, I've never even met him.
Right.
My father and Michael.
Right. But
like,
I'll tell you what, though. I've been, following you, watching your stuff online. You speak to the heart of matters. And I think what's a powerful, powerful thing is you keep it raw and real. A lot of times everyone is about being perfect. This happened, or I've always been perfect, and this had happened. You said, hey, I've been up, I've been down. I've been up, I've been down.
Totally.
This is life. Life's the ebb and flow. And so many people, I think what's really important, there's always going to be setbacks in life. Always going to be setbacks, but you keep getting up.
Well, I'll tell you what, leaders own their failures, right?
Right.
If you're a leader, you own your failure. You're not running from your failures.
No.
Because you know that it takes failures to become a leader.
Absolutely. I think, one of the big things I always like to say, we'll get to that, but let's start with this. With all the transformation you've had in your life, what type of daily rituals and habits do you have? Because I know that's got to be an important aspect of what you do.
Yeah, so lately it's been tough because we've been going full tilt. I've had cameras in my face.
24/7.
Literally. Like,
Right.
I woke up to a drone today. Rose up.
Literally a drone.
Yeah, literally.
That's too funny.
And so it's been a little hectic lately, but I like to get up and I like to read.
Right.
I like to read a book on awareness. It's usually mindset or awareness, something
Yeah.
something to stretch me, something to open me up.
Right.
I sit and I have my coffee, a little MCT oil, and
Your coffee, is that Morelli coffee?
Morelli's coffee.
Morelli's coffee.
Yep.
All right, people. My man has his own coffee.
Did you get a bag yet?
Oh, we ordered it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I gotta. Yeah.
You have one in the car? So I'll take it.
No, but I'll get you some if you didn't order it.
All right.
Yeah. It's that fucking good.
All right. I'm
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
I'm in. So I'll tell you, because one of the things, I was talking about how do you win the day, right? And one of the things I do each and every morning, I spend, before I do anything else, I spend a little time with myself, kind of seeding the day. So I was maybe speaking things into existence, just owning me before I go out into the world. I don't look at my phone. The only one thing I do is I have my 2 dogs ready to rock. Bright and early.
What kind of dogs you got?
I have a blue healer. She's a rescue, and a little Papillon, who's a rescue. So
Cool.
I only would do it. I just lost, and all my people know, my American Bulldog, 13 years old, and I love that dog. But there's only thing we spend time in the morning.
Yeah.
The 3 of us together go for a walk.
Get your mind right.
Get my mind right. If I'm get my mind right, they're laying both besides me. Give me this positive energy that only canines can do.
I'm totally with it.
Right?
Bubble the blue, baby.
So you start with the mindset, the Morelli coffee.
Yep.
And
Create a checklist
Right.
after that.
So you create a checklist for the day.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And you
Communicate with my team to create a checklist. They keep me on track. So I've got my checklist
right.
for what the things that I need to do, and they've got their checklist for me for the things that I need to do.
Got it.
So then I merge them, and
Okay.
I'm attacking.
Tag mode. Boom. Hit the ground running.
One after the other.
All right.
Yep. I'm sending messages. I mean, social media is our thing, so I'm sending messages, making sure people are doing what they need to do.
Right.
I am really, really blessed because for the one time in my life, I have got an incredible team. Incredible.
Okay.
Incredible.
I think
Like
that's important.
talented,
Right.
work ethic, they're hungry, and quite frankly, we're fucking shit up. Like,
But what's funny about that? You're fucking shit up, just crushing it.
yeah,
Crushing
yeah,
it.
yes, absolutely, yeah.
But the thing is, with your team, I love, one of the Chinese proverbs with the 8. The foundation, they support you, but the whole thing works together. Without each piece makes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So it's really important.
The one thing that I never really understood, as much as I do now, is that you are only as good as those who surround you.
Oh, fact.
I mean,
right.
it is a fact.
It's a fact.
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 You got weak links?
Right.
Guess what?
And
That's where you're spending your time.
Right, but as a leader, that's right. Because what you're really doing, you're managing people's behaviors.
Yeah, totally.
And then as a leader, and now you have so much clarity. Because what's so funny? A lot of the things you went through in the past has allowed you to be able to see it. You can see when someone's fucking up or
1000%.
parting it.
1000%.
And I think the beauty of that is they can't get anything by you.
No.
Are you kidding me?
You want to know the easiest way to see when someone's fucking up? Mm-hmm. You have a team of bosses.
Right.
You got one dead duck.
Right.
It's like,
Crack. Right.
I just had to do it. But I'm not wasting any time.
No, right.
Before it was like, I care about people,
No,
dude.
of course,
So it's like,
100%.
I don't
You
want
work with them.
Work with them.
Yeah.
You carry them a little bit. Okay, do this. Coach them a little bit.
Yeah.
But it gets to a point. If you don't
go.
start cutting that a little bit
Right,
faster,
Absolutely.
you're just tossing money out.
Because that becomes the cancer in the room.
That too.
You
That's
know?
a good point.
That becomes the
that
cancer
too.
in the room. It's one of my old employees. I'll tell you a funny story. One of my old clients just won the Arnold. Okay, won the whole entire thing.
What's his name? Him or
Her
her?
name's a girl, Candace Lewis.
Okay.
Right. And one of the funnier things about it, when we got her started, the girl was undefeated winning shows. We knew she was a rock star pro when we first got her. But how things ended up leaving was one of my guys who was the crackhead. The one that was always a problem one way or the other. Kind of screwed that up, and we end up missing the dates. But his life just kept stumbling out of control. We tried to fix.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, he had to go to rehab, and then things got better. But, the funny thing is, it's still literally 6 years later. It's
Mm-hmm.
finally getting better now. Great kid. But you can only help someone who's willing to help themselves.
Totally.
That's something everyone has to understand. And with that being said, one of the things I think, a big thing I like to springboard everything is what I call eat and drink good thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And when you eat and drink good thoughts, the days when things were dark, you started one business.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some type of, do you believe there's a connection when you're feeding yourself those unbelievable, the mindset
Mm-hmm.
that allows you to be extremely successful?
Well, there's no question about it that's the piece, right? Everybody wants to train and eat and look really, really good.
Right.
But that's meaningless
Right.
without the right mindset to go with it. Because they may take a really good picture on Instagram, but they're fucking miserable.
Oh, 100%.
Or they're missing everything because they're not aware enough. Right? What
Right.
good is a set of abs if you can't
Well,
enjoy and be aware of what's
What's so funny that you say that? I would always say when someone's like, that person's got a good physique. Doesn't necessarily mean they're a good person.
right?
They have a good physique, he or she, what have you. And then the other thing I would say is when someone looks at you, great physique, and they're like, oh, you can mirror everything you do. But what's happening on the inside
1000%.
is the game,
Right.
right?
Yep.
So one of the things I always like to say is you got to be that me now. And you work with a lot of clients who have big transformations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things we always talk about is reverse engineer. So if someone wants to look like this 12 weeks from now,
Mm-hmm.
you got to be that me now today. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that you're going to wake up 12 weeks,
It's a great
16
nugget.
weeks, and be right there.
Yep.
Because you created.
Yep.
That's the thing. Now, when you first had that iPhone in a dream,
Mm-hmm.
what happened? Talk about when you first posted. Did you debate about posting your first video? You're like, who's going to watch this?
Well, no one was watching.
Okay.
Yeah, no one was watching. I had nobody. I mean, put my YouTube channel up, and I had some Twitter followers, and I said, go watch a video. I think I had like, I don't know, 11 subscribers at the time. So first of all, it's a, I don't know, can't remember, like 5-minute ab workout. That took me 5 minutes to get to the workout because I decided to wobble back and forth and intro it for 5 minutes. Imagine like a 5-minute intro, like get to the workout, man.
Hurry up already,
right?
Enough.
But I literally was pacing back and forth like this, I'll never forget. Pacing back and forth, even though I could walk back around and I could push delete.
Right.
It was still nervous, right?
Of course.
Walking back and forth.
Right.
But I did it and I pushed publish. And had I not done that, I may have never pushed post or publish.
Right.
And now it's just like, ding,
now it's
ding,
ding, there it is. There,
all day.
It was so funny. Every journey starts with what?
One action, one step.
One step.
Yep.
That's all it was.
Yep.
One step.
One action.
And one of the funnier things I always talk about, who you have to believe in.
Only one person.
One person.
Yep.
Yourself. And there was a commitment you made to yourself in essence.
Yep.
Pushed it out there. Then what happened next?
Well, I had my daughter, right?
Okay.
So
that's motivation, son.
That's the motivation of my life. Right. Matter of fact, on my phone every single morning at 7 a.m. I get a reminder. Says you are doing this for your kids because I have Mello now. Right. You are doing this for your kids. Every single morning at 7 o'clock, that reminder shows up on my phone.
Absolutely.
Because ultimately, you know, your kids, you don't know love until you have kids, honestly. It's one thing that took me a while to find. Right. And it's through my kids that I found that I've been able to experience that. Yeah.
You know, it's so funny because you're living for something bigger than you.
Totally. Right? Totally. I want them to be little cyborgs. Like, carry on. I want them to be entrepreneurs. Like, I'm already thinking through.
Absolutely. Coach them up.
Totally.
How old are your kids?
4 and 2.
4 and 2. Little ones.
Yep.
So excited to see you. Well, like, you're busy. You're always out running about.
I am.
And one of the things that I wanted to ask you, any other siblings?
I got a brother and 2 half-sisters.
Brother and 2 half-sisters. So now, you're a father to 2 kids.
Yeah.
A brother.
Yep.
Right. A son to your mom who's always been there.
Yes.
And you have a significant other.
Yes.
So all these things roll into one. That makes Mike Morelli.
Totally.
And so how do you spend your time? Are you being pulled in 8 different directions? I know you're always working.
Yeah. I do my best. Right. You have to make sacrifices. Right. The world needs help, and I'm prepared to take that on. Right. And my family knows that. And it's no small task. I believe that we will grow this thing and we will bring influencers in and through podcasts and through spreading the message that we will put a dent in obesity. I believe that.
Awesome. Well, what's your mission statement if you have one?
So mission, there's a lot of different ways to chop up a mission statement.
Right.
My vision is
that's a strong word. I love that.
Yeah, so my vision is to really end obesity. You know, I set the stage through products, programs, and services, through our network. We want to put a dent in it. Right. Yeah, that's the mission. Right. And when you see, go ahead.
No, so that's your sense of purpose. End obesity.
Yes.
When you wake up, not only for the kids, but so many of the people out there.
Yes.
Let's make it happen.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
That's powerful. That's extremely powerful. So patience and persistence. So you got a lot of people,
underrated, baby.
Right. Because a lot of
patience,
people,
especially.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a couple things.
Yeah.
People that you're helping might have taken them 25 years, 30 years to get to where they are. They finally decide, like when you did, I want to get in shape. I want to look better. And they start out, and then what happens? Hey, Mike.
Life happens.
Right. But I've been doing this for 2 whole weeks, and nothing's happened yet. Fuck it, I'm out, ready to quit. How do you communicate with those people?
Yeah.
You got a ton of them, don't you?
Well, you got to find what's motivating them.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You know, what's going on?
What's it in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What's going on? And oftentimes it's just awareness. Has a lot to do with some mental barriers and roadblocks.
Oh, yeah, that's
oftentimes it's emotional attachments to food. Right?
Yeah,
we find
love food.
they love it. Right? It's a way to escape for a lot of people.
Right.
You know, that's where they bury it.
So with the whole platform of ending obesity, one of the things I know, supplements. You're a big guy on supplements, right? So the coffee, the detox, the krill oil, the grass-fed protein powder. How did all that come about?
I couldn't find anything that I was comfortable putting in my body. So I'm on a journey.
Okay.
Like you're on a journey. Like we're all on a journey.
Yes.
And you start out and you make a few changes, then you make a few more changes, and you become a little bit more aware as you go through your journey.
It's powerful.
Right? And so now you get to a point where it's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to put that in my body anymore.
Right.
What is out there? And for me, it was nothing at the time, you know? So I decided to make my own.
Simple. So, and what's so funny, you were so intense and wanted to put the best stuff in your body. That's how you started your supplement. You solved the problem for yourself.
It usually happened that way.
Right.
It usually happens that way. Transformation happened to myself.
Correct.
Use that to springboard in and change lives.
Right.
I did it for myself, I could do it for others.
Right.
Again, I'm in search of something I want to put in my body. I want clean supplements.
But that's the leadership, the skill set you have.
Yeah.
A lot of people might do it, but you had a bigger vision. And once you realize, if I can do it, let me help these people. That's fantastic and fascinating, because you're able to bridge the two, and a lot of people can't. So let me ask you a question about your first. Was it a big video that caught fire? Was it a certain program that you started that caught fire?
So one thing caught fire before everything caught fire, and that was consistency.
Okay.
Every single day, I'm posting.
Okay.
There was a time when I would wake up, because I realized I had a lot of people in the UK and Australia following me, that I would wake up at 2 and 3 in the morning to post on my pages so that that community could see my posts.
Okay, got it.
So I would set my alarm.
Right.
Poor mom, because I was living with my mom at the time. Poor Amanda, who's waking up with her daughter, having to deal with that. I'm like, babe, I just got to post and then I'll come back to bed. Yeah. And then an hour later, after I'm responding to comments and I'm liking stuff, and you know how that goes.
That's too funny. So, fast forward right now.
So consistency leading into Hit Max.
Hit Max.
Springboarded, I mean, caught fire right out of the gate.
Hit Max. What is it exactly?
So high intensity interval training.
Okay.
Simplified high intensity interval training. Right.
Just the body.
Body weight only, because remember, that's what I used during my transformation.
Just body.
And I didn't know it was HIIT at the time.
Okay.
I was just doing burpees and
you were just
renegade rows.
Right, renegade rows, the whole thing. And what's so funny about that, that's harder exercising than going into the gym and doing weights.
Yes.
Because
don't tell it.
Right.
Should we?
Because it's you're using this is the workout machine.
Well, the VO2, you get the VO2 involved.
Hit it.
It's like,
it's a wrap. It is.
You know what we've realized through a lot of surveying is that there's a lot of people out there that are actually scared of the breathing, and that's what keeps them from the gym. Is they're scared of the oxygen flow and being out of breath.
And they panic. That's the little thing. They're afraid. They've never really. One of the funny things is they've never really felt their whole body moving in concert, and then that's what it produces. You know, it's one of the things I always love saying: anaerobic exercise without oxygen. That's what that means, people out there.
Hey.
And they don't know. So when that happens, they're literally in shock. They really think something's going to happen to them, right?
Yeah, totally.
And it's just so funny because the human body is such a miraculous piece of machinery that if people just embrace it, one of the things I always say, you know, Ginger Muscle's off camera, he'll tell you that one of the things I always do is most people retire from fitness in junior high. And what's what I mean by that? They try out they play Little League baseball, football, whatever different sports. Then they try out for the school team in 8th, 9th grade. And if they get cut and they don't make it, well, I'm just quit right there. But now we have the evolution of social media, all these different things. Guys like you influencing so many people. People now are rediscovering that they want to be in shape, they want to look good. There's so many places for them to be seen moving forward that this is what they want to. They want to be more active in their own lives, right?
Yep.
So you've been really, I mean, you have a huge following. Your products are selling like hotcakes.
They are.
So
Sweet potato cakes.
Sweet potato cakes. So you're really influencing so many people out there.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
It feels amazing.
Okay.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exhilarating. It's invigorating. And people come up to me when I'm out and about, and I finally, because it's happening more and more, it's not awkward anymore.
Right.
It's like, hey, bring it in, hug them.
Absolutely.
But for a while, it's like, you're like,
Right.
I mean, like, are we doing a handshake here? Are we hugging? Like, what are we doing? You know, because it's like.
You know what's so funny about that? Because athletes, you're a celebrity in your own little world.
I'm
Morelli's world, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Right. But the thing is, you're the type of dude you make people feel warm.
Mm-hmm.
You're connected. These are people that are literally helping your life because they're following you.
1,000%. I'm grateful.
You're the shepherd.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I want to
Because if
Moses.
because if it wasn't for them,
Right.
I wouldn't be here.
Right. Absolutely.
I wouldn't be there.
Right.
And I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So it's all. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to publish a book.
Right.
I wouldn't
What was the
have.
name of your first book, so everyone knows?
So it actually launches April 4th.
April 4th.
Launches.
Okay.
So we're in the pre-launch phase right now.
Okay.
I go on tour. Actually, speaking of which, April 1st, I'm having a party here.
Okay.
I'd like everybody to come.
Absolutely.
It's at the HQ. We're going to be sampling recipes from the book.
Absolutely.
We're going to be sampling detox. It's a pool party at 12 o'clock, April 1st.
I'm in.
All right, so write it down. That is going to set off the tour.
Right.
So then on April 8th, I'm in New York City. And I'm
By the
at.
way, my stomping grounds. I'll tell you a couple good places to go.
I love New York City.
Absolutely.
So I'm in New York City, and then from there, it looks like Wisconsin, my home, back home.
Right.
LA. I'm looking at potentially Atlanta and Houston right now.
Okay. I believe all we are balls of energy, and you. My nickname when I first saw you, with the other glasses, is Baby Elvis. that great energy coming in the room, and you just bring it all the time. So it's always a pleasure to see you.
What do you need to create momentum?
Motion.
Energy and motion.
That's it, brother.
So
and you bring it.
you find momentum, man.
That's it. So what's the name of the book?
The Sweet Potato Diet.
The Sweet Potato Diet.
Do you like sweet potatoes?
Do I love sweet potatoes? Come on. I'm all in.
Oh, man.
Sweet potatoes.
Yep.
So, and the inspiration of the sweet potato diet, I always say the sweet potatoes, you want a perfect vegetable almost.
Yeah.
Low glycemic, gives you great energy.
Hey.
And there it is.
Low glycemic, satiating, affordable.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? You can scallop it. You can put it into fries. There's so many different ways to do
Brownies.
it. Right? Oh, my goodness.
Pancakes.
Everything,
Cookies.
yes.
By the way, these are what we're going to do at the party.
Okay, well.
He's already
I'm in.
bacon wrapped sweet potato bacon wrapped sweet potato squares.
Man,
oh, dude.
I gotta tell you, that sounds fantastic. So, the book, the tour. Now, let me ask you this question. Is there anyone else out there that's talented coming up that you kind of take a look at yourself?
I get this question. And totally and brutally honest, I don't pay attention to other people.
Okay, just focusing on you.
I am. And to some regard, I think it slows me down because it's like, what are they doing and how could you do it better?
Okay.
But in other regards, I'm so in my lane and so focused. I have the vision.
Right.
I don't.
You have a big vision.
I don't think Elon Musk is looking at other electric car companies.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I have the pieces. Now it's about staying laser focused.
Execute.
And I think when you are focused and looking elsewhere, you lose.
Or you take a step back. You're not getting there.
Or it's like, oh, I don't have what he has, and oh my gosh,
Right.
and so there's that whole piece too, right?
Got it.
You know.
So, what would you? May I ask, how old are you now?
I'll be 36 this year.
Okay.
How do I look?
What would you tell your 30-year-old self?
Oh. What would I tell my 20-year-old self first?
Okay, let's do that.
To read books.
Right.
I mean, it's simple, right? I mean, there's a lot of things I tell my 20-year-old self, quite frankly,
By
but
the way, don't do that.
But yeah, but read more books.
Right. How important is reading?
It is critical,
Right.
and I don't care if you want to listen, if you want to watch,
Right.
I don't
'Cause
care.
there's different
Totally.
avenues for you to get that information.
Totally.
So many different ways to get that information. So if you're 20, 25, 30, 45, 50, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
There's great different ways to get information for you to get it into.
If you're not growing, you're dying.
That's right.
I mean, what's happening to a flower that's not growing?
It's gone.
Right?
And I always say the consummate professional always is learning. So if you want to learn, if you want to grow as an individual, as a person for yourself, read something. And one of the things I talk about each and every day, I treat you as another me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the word things that flipped in my head. People always say, treat people how you want to be treated. But when I got treat you as another me, literally.
Mm-hmm.
When I go to people, and I really believe this, one of the other books I'll share with you is The Mental Diet. Just a little small, little tiny book.
Mm-hmm.
When you treat people like another you're never going to treat yourself bad. And when
Hope
you
not.
start treating people with that same kindness,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I always say the opposite of fear is love. And it takes courage to treat everyone really well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just go out and wish people well, always live in that state. It allows great things to happen because what you put out there always comes back in a boomerang. I mean, everything happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the things when we talk about awareness. To me, consciousness and awareness is so ridiculously effing important. Because the thing is, you got to know yourself. Know thyself is what's more important than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you and I talked about demons.
Mm-hmm.
I like partying.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I have to realize, when everything great's going in my life, that's not there. I have to keep dark Howie away. But he's always lurking, just waiting to come out if I slip up, and then he's there. And then it's like, whoa, let's get it started.
Yeah.
What you realize is, it's not really benefiting me. I think that's a maturation process, too.
I would agree with that.
You know,
Yeah.
because we live in our society, and what's really party like a rock star.
Mm-hmm.
Being now rock stars in business.
Well, you look at the people in the space that are partying like a rock star. They got girls around and money, and
Oh, yeah.
they're getting lots of likes. They're getting lots of comments. Like, the young guys want that, and I get it because
Right.
I was young once.
Right.
But it's still at the end of the day empty.
Oh,
You know?
That's more important. They're empty.
Yeah, it's an empty chase.
Right.
It's an empty chase.
Well, the great old adage, you always lose money chasing girls, but you never lose girls chasing money.
That's a good one.
Right?
Yeah.
And the other thing is, as you grow and develop, it's I'm following your footsteps in a certain area. I have the girl of my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Created. I always say I dreamed her up.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, it's clear as creamy goodness of the peanut butter, nut butter. You got to try it.
You do got to try it.
Right. But having this beautiful girl that's by my side that I adore
Mm-hmm.
makes me get up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me want to be a better person for myself, but to provide. You know, that's what you're doing with your kids.
We've been providers for thousands of years.
Yes.
We're the man,
The man.
the hunter,
Right.
right?
Not the gatherer, the hunter.
The hunter.
Go and make it happen.
And that's what we do.
Right.
And finally, shouldn't say finally, my fiance gets it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I do.
Right.
I get my self-worth
Right.
from going out and doing this so that
Mhm.
my family can be in Wisconsin, in Florida, and eating the best food and
Right.
traveling and doing
Living
their
life
thing.
that you're providing.
Because that gives me a sense of purpose too,
Sense of
right?
purpose,
Sense of
absolutely.
self-worth.
Absolutely.
It's like, yeah, he is doing the hunter's job because he's bringing home the food.
That gets back to owning creates character. Owning it. Right.
Owning it.
Yeah.
Own it.
That's it.
Failure, success,
Right.
if you fucked up, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Own it.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn.
Totally.
You
That's
know,
a great.
Right. There's so many teachable moments, and that's really what losing can be. It's not a loss.
Not a loss if you learn.
No, it's not a loss if you learn,
Yep.
because you can always grow from that. So, one of the things, you know, I'm always thinking when you have someone that's at home
Mm-hmm.
wondering, why me?
Mm-hmm.
Can I do this?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Would you say, why not you, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have a dream and an idea, don't be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things I always say is if you ask, I always say in life, there's two people cheering. It could be your mom, your girlfriend, it could be your kid, even 20 people booing. Because you might have an idea, speak to it, speak it into existence, and everyone's going to try and knock it down.
Everybody's got ideas.
Right.
And everybody's heard a lot of ideas.
Right,
Right?
right.
So, underlying premise is persistence and patience, like you just said.
Persistent. Execute.
Absolutely.
Execute.
Everybody's like, well, go and do it.
Just go do it.
It doesn't even matter if you mess up. Like,
Right.
I want you to go mess up.
Right, right.
Because
that's what you learn.
Totally. Because people are asking me all the time, Mike, how did you find your purpose? How did you find meaning?
Right.
I went out and I did stuff.
Right.
Your purpose isn't waiting for you at home.
No.
It's waiting for you
out
through
there.
experiences.
It's out there.
Go have more of them.
Well, you know what's so funny, and one of the things that everything comes from within, right? When you're meditating, you spend that time, get the day started. That energy is everything's inside you. From what's inside you, you're pushing out to the world, right?
Manifestation.
Manifestation. That's one of the things I talk about. To manifest, to grow something, to bring it into existence, because it's all from inside you. So, literally, when you started this with the iPhone in a dream, did you have any imagination? And your imagination is powerful. It's big.
Big.
Because I remember when we talked about the meals and doing all that stuff.
Yep.
You're talking Kardashian level.
Right.
We want to blow this motherfucker out.
Out.
Make it happen.
Yep.
That's a big vision.
Yep.
And you're going to get there. I, without a doubt, believe it's going to happen.
Well, it's either going to happen or I'm going to die trying. Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's just it. Because I will not stop knocking.
Right.
It doesn't matter how many doors it takes.
That's too
I'm going to
funny.
continue to open them.
You know, it's an old biblical term. Knock on the door, and he'll be let in. You know, and the knock on the door of your own conscious, your awareness. You're aware that what you bring forth is going to be massive. And people need it.
And I think because of the awareness, I know my strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
And so now I'm picking people
Right.
where I'm weak.
You know, it's funny that you say that. Here's one of the things I learned. You know, I went to this guy, Dan Sullivan, strategic coach.
Yeah, very familiar with it.
Right. And one of the things people always try to do is get strong at their weaknesses.
Why?
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 Why? Because you're weak. You're weak there for a reason.
Right.
So focus on your strengths.
Well, think about it. Like, if you're really strong at something and you're really weak at something,
Right.
and you spend your time on the really weak thing, then you're
Right.
going to be mediocre at two things.
There it is.
So then what?
But, you know, we live in a world where that's what people do. Work on your weaknesses.
Not even close.
Not even close.
I don't even want to, like,
Leave it
cool,
alone.
I suck at that.
Right.
Who's good?
Right.
You're
Bring-
good?
Come on in.
Come on in.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, take that spot.
Absolutely. It's funny because so many people really don't understand. What do you think, if you had to give one, you said reading, being kind to other people, spend less, huge.
I got one more for you.
Please, bring it.
Ego.
Ego gets in the way, doesn't it?
Everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we've all got it,
Yeah, we do.
right? It
Yeah, we
shows
do.
up. Sometimes it shows up.
And the most
And it's like,
unwanted
"Ooh,
place-
I'm going to kill that motherfucker.
Right.
Right?
Oh,
It just
absolutely.
shows up.
Absolutely.
The hunter shows up.
No, what's so funny? And it's like, not for me, that motherfucker right there.
Right.
Fucking up my shit.
Right.
And it's again, comes back to us. Always comes back to us.
Right.
But, you know, like you try something or, you know, you go to the gym, you might not have it today. Oh, fuck, man.
It happens.
Yeah.
It's all gay.
And, you know, what's so funny about the ego, and we're so ego-driven. But the minute you can conquer that, put that aside.
Whew.
You know, it's always. I have so many of these little one-liners. When me and Ginger Muscle would talk, we go like, we've all heard, if you can believe, you can achieve.
Sure, Winston Churchill.
Right.
Mhm.
And Winston Churchill says, never give up.
Mm-hmm.
Never give up. Never give up.
Mhm.
As you said, either you're going to blow it all the way out or you're going to die trying.
Mhm.
That means it's going to happen.
Mhm.
Because the world, I have an old Wall Street thing we got, you know, at Stratton, Old Line, I worked at Stratton Old Line as a kid. First, you know, when I first got to, you know, selling stocks, it's one big, how would you say it? You can be anything you want to be in this world.
I believe that.
Anything you want to be. You just got to be it. And one of the things I was saying to my great camera guy, Alberto, and I said, you know, you got to be that me now, reverse engineer it. But here's the big key. I always say signs follow, they don't precede. Meaning, you have to be it first. Like you were being a great salesman when you were selling cards, doing magic, ecstasy, if you will. The
Acting on TV.
acts on TV, the Snuggies, the whole thing. You're already being it till you finally became Mike Morelli. Uh-oh, slipped and fell.
You're good. I got you.
Right.
Yeah.
Till you became Mike Morelli and Morelli Fit. You've always been it till you became what you were meant to be.
Yep.
So do you
And I think we
split
can. I think we can become different things, and it's all about the journey,
Oh,
right? So
100%.
right now I am Morelli Fit. I don't
Right.
know what that.
where that goes.
I don't know where that goes.
Right. But
And
you have a game plan right now.
1000%.
Right.
Yeah.
You could be the next Jack LaLanne.
Maybe.
And that'd be powerful. Because I'll buy that product, whatever you're selling. So it's to kind of put a top on this, because I really enjoyed our conversation. Because we could probably do this for another 2 hours.
If I wasn't on the treadmill, I'd take you up on it. This is the most cardio I've done in
Yeah, this is
about 2 weeks.
I wasn't expecting this today, but it's kind of good. I like my pace.
Yeah.
But here's what's really, for the people out there, you had a couple of ebooks.
We've had a lot of digital programs.
A lot of digital
We've got our custom
programs,
nutrition,
Custom nutrition,
our supplement line.
supplement line. Where can they find you?
So MorelliFit.com.
Right.
Yep, is where all of our stuff is. I think the most important thing for me right now is my book
Right.
and the promotion of it, because
Absolutely.
that is. I mean, we're set. We just sent the book to the Today
Show?
to Today Junior
Right.
to the Today Show,
Right.
and so there's interest there.
Okay.
I just
You're
got
not out of Cali, are you?
I will be in Cali.
I don't want to hear about gossip and crazy stuff happening.
Yeah, I'm in Cali.
Well,
I'll be in Cali a lot.
Okay.
So I just got interviewed. We got the cover for Women's World magazine.
Wow.
The cover.
yeah,
We got the cover.
that's crushing it.
So, and that's a huge distribution.
Right.
So we've got that. Beverly Hills magazine. I mean, there's tons of interest. We just pitched Dr. Oz, Rachel Ray.
Rachel Ray.
So there's lots and lots of.
Oh yeah, there's
out-
avenues.
Yeah.
Right. They will see you very quickly everywhere.
Well, that's the thing, right?
Right.
For me, it's about bringing more people into the community,
Right,
so that they
right,
can
right.
experience what Morelli Fit really is.
Okay.
And sweet potato diet is the simplification of carb cycling.
Oh.
You know that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I use the sweet potato to carb cycle, and we strip body fat fast.
Absolutely.
You know.
So you stack it. Maybe one day 90 grams of carbs, 60 grams of carbs, 30 carb cycle.
Depending on where. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
depends on where the person is, but that's.
Yep.
It's one of the things, so you're really just coaching them up. I know with the new business, which I think is going to be fantastic, the custom meals. You have a whole bunch of nutritionists, everything put together, just to really simplify it. So for you people out there who really don't understand, and the beauty of this is you don't have to. We have a shepherd and a leader who can just point you in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you simplify it.
Why worry about that?
Right.
Like, go read a book. Go read Krishnamurti. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like, go
right,
read a
right,
book.
right.
You're gonna try to figure out your BMR and your TDE
Right.
and all the
Let the experts do
calculations.
it.
Why spend the time?
Right.
You know?
Well, we're just talking about weaknesses and strengths.
Totally.
You know.
But some people will see that and be like, "Oh, I want to do it myself." Like, but why?
Why?
Like-
When you haven't learned from someone else's experience.
I'm not gonna learn to be a mechanic to go fix
Right.
my car.
Absolutely.
Right?
Taking it to get fixed.
Right. There's a guy that'll do that.
No, perfectly.
Right.
Right. So, what book are you reading right now?
I'm reading Krishnamurti. Think
Right.
on these things.
Think on these.
And I'll tell you another book I'm reading. So I'm reading that. I'm reading 3 books right now.
Okay.
I'm reading that.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm reading The Path to Least Resistance,
Path of least resistance.
and I'm reading Elon Musk's a book on Elon Musk. I
Okay.
believe that, oftentimes people are like, who do you follow?
Right.
Who are you watching?
Right.
I'm reading his story about him.
Right.
I mean, he wants to put people on Mars.
That's a big vision.
I don't think there's any bigger vision.
Right. Judah Krishnamurti is one of my favorite authors. Think on These Things is a fantastic book. And again, it searches inside.
Yep.
Inside so you can grow. Once you and one of the things I always say, we're all interconnected. And that's why I think you're reaching so many people, because you really treat everyone the way you want to be treated. And you want them to have a better life.
I want to get the world to the next level of awareness.
Right.
And right now I'm doing that through nutrition. That may change.
Right.
But it's all about making people better
Right.
and
Be their best me.
creating more abundance
Right.
and allowing people
Oh.
to thrive.
No, it's funny that you say that. One of the things I talk about all the time, I live in a world of abundance. We can live in a world of scarcity or abundance. You choose. And each and every day, when you bring that to the table, each and every day you have a choice. And one of the things I saw you talking about, which is powerful in this moment.
It's the only moment we've got.
The only moment we have. Each and every day, there's so many moments. In that moment, for you to make a choice.
And when you're present and you have the awareness, it's powerful.
You know, I think what I want everyone out there to understand what we really mean by being present. We're all distracted with social media. There's so many things pulling you. Like right now, we're present.
1000%.
We're here. And whenever you're here, we always say, when you have fear, you're worried about something in the future. When you have anxiety, it's something in the past that's eating at you. But if you're present, here and now, there's nothing there.
It's pretty awesome, isn't it?
Right.
It's like,
there's nothing there. It's just
nothing to worry about because it's just here.
Right. And now this moment that you're in, just maximize it.
Yep.
You know, be the best you can be. And it's one of the things I think you do really well, especially I've seen all the before and afters, the people that are out there. You spend time with them.
I do. It's
You
intimate.
empower
It's
them.
intimate.
Right.
It's as intimate as it possibly can.
Right.
As much as I possibly can. It's getting increasingly harder.
Yeah, you're getting bigger and bigger.
But I love the connection.
Right.
Matter of fact, my best days are the days when I'm most engaged and
Right.
I'm able to communicate with my community.
It's funny, you know what you said? You said you love the connection.
I love it.
Right.
Yeah,
People out there, listen to this, want two things, love and connection.
I agree with that.
That's it.
I agree with that.
Every
And they want to be
human being-
safe and they want to grow.
Right.
Yep.
Love and connection, that's all encompasses that.
Yep.
Safe and growth. And the growth, safe to be wrong,
Yep.
safe to learn.
Yep.
And when they make a mistake, hey, let's get back up and keep making it happen.
Yep.
So that's the environment, that's Morelli's world. Love and
Exactly.
connection, speak it into existence, make it happen.
Yep.
Well, you know what, this hour and 5 minutes has gone by pretty quickly.
I love it.
You know?
It's like so awesome.
This is fantastic. And one of the things, as we're doing this, I want everyone out there to know, and you will definitely back this up, the best way for people to burn body fat is sometimes be able to walk and talk.
I agree.
It's just
I was
something
just thinking
that simple.
like 65 minutes, how many calories I burned?
Yeah, literally. We're just burning
I
fat
can
calories.
eat one more sweet potato before bed.
Sweet potatoes. I mean, two and some nut butter, believe me. But guys, we have an opportunity to really spend some time with Mr. Morelli. Look for his new book, The Sweet Potato Diet, which is going to be killer.
Thank you.
And just great things to come. So look out for what we'll have is when you're going to be on TV at different shows.
Yep.
We'll put it out there so people
And
can check it out.
I'm excited to see how this sort of evolves for you.
Oh,
Because as soon
absolutely.
as you told me about it, I was
Yeah.
like, so cool.
You know,
right?
one of the things I appreciate, because I'm just getting started.
Right.
And have the opportunity to work with you. I really want to say thank you. I appreciate that. Giving me a shot. I'm not going to let you down, Coach.
I'm with you, brother.
All
I love
right,
you,
my
man.
man.
Yeah.
Hey,
And you know
guys.
what? Like you said, we can learn from anybody.
Oh, absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. Everyone, check out Morelli's World. This is Howie Hustle. This is my man, Mike Morelli.
Take care, guys.